Hello, everyone, and welcome to a bonus segment of the Brothers Take podcast. My name is Chris. I am joined once again by my brothers Adam
Hello.
and Eric.
Hello.
And in this bonus segment, we are going to be talking about Linkin Park because we went to see them live. So this is sort of a follow up to an episode we did a couple of weeks ago, which was like to give a bit of background context. September 5th. Linkin Park do a live stream show, announced their new lineup, announced their new album, new song, new tour. Dates went up. We all panicked. We bought tickets. We went to the show in London in the O2 on Tuesday, the 24th of September. And we're going to take the time now to talk about that show, to review that show. Because I think like when me and Adams had a live stream and Eric was away at the time, we had a lot of thoughts on, there's a lot to process. There was a lot of emotions. There was a lot to take in, a lot of change, a lot of, I'm not sure about this, not sure about that. How do we feel about this thing? I was like, you know what? We got to go. We got to see him live and we need to let this settle in as well. But we also want to see, like, what are they like live beyond, like, the live stream and stuff like that. And so we've seen him live, and that's what we're going to talk about. And, of course, as we go along, we'd love to hear from you guys. If you're Linkin Park fans, or if you're not Linkin Park fans, if you just have thoughts anyway, do jump down into the comments. If you're watching YouTube, share your thoughts. Or if this is an audio platform, search by social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X at The Brothers Take to give your take on this new era of Linkin Park. Or if you have any, like, maybe you'll have, like, questions about specific, like, because we won't go into every tiny detail. Like, we're going to give more of our overall experience of the show. But if you're like, did they play this specific song? What did this song sound like? How was Emily on this song or something like that? Like, if you have genuine questions like that, throw them our way, and we can maybe continue the discussion in comment sections and stuff like that. But how did we feel, first of all, in, like, the lead up to the show? Like, was anyone nervous about it or just excited? Or where were we at before the show? Eric, I'd love to hear from you first.
Definitely not nervous.
Cool.
Definitely wasn't nervous because I didn't see the live show, which probably may have helped to not be nervous. And like, she sounded great with the Emptiness Machine, and I suppose I was just like, look, let's see them. Like, let's see them back. Hopefully they're great. You know what I mean? I'm sure they're gonna be. They can be quite precious with their stuff. So I didn't really think that they were gonna be like very willy-nilly pick anyone to do.
Right,
like,
yeah.
So definitely wasn't nervous, but definitely getting closer. I was getting more excited, getting more bubbly. Like, oh boy, I'm gonna go to London to see Linkin Park.
Yeah, yeah. But the turnaround as well was so quick. Like, it feels like it's been longer that they announced a comeback at all, even. And yeah, I'm looking at going, this has all been in the space of 3 weeks.
Well, actually,
It's mental.
It
was
is crazy. Like,
I was saying to Dad today, I was like, why is September so fucking long as a month? It's only 30 days, but yet this month always drags. So it does feel like it was like, halfway during the summer or something when they announced it.
right.
But like,
But it wasn't.
No, it was 2 or 3 weeks ago. And
That probably feels that way though, because like you just did so much though. Like, you were on holidays and you came back and Linkin Park had announced a comeback, and then suddenly we were like, "Do you want a ticket?" Yeah, sure. Got a ticket. Went on another trip. Came back. That, like, like a lot has happened, really.
right, but shouldn't that make the month go by quicker?
Well, yes. I think it's gone very quick. Personally, September has been gone in a blink to me.
Not
Oh,
going
for
quick
me,
enough, I'd say.
Yeah. For
Need
me, it's
that
been dragging.
November date to come around ASAP.
Oh, right, because you're dying for the album.
Yeah, I am. Holy
How-
fuck.
how-
There's only
what
so
were
much
you-
mileage I can get out of those two songs.
What were you feeling like in the lead up to the concert, Adam?
I was neither excited or nervous. I wasn't allowed. There wasn't a moment to be excited, as like I got excited once we were in the queue. I think it was actually I was a bit nervous, not for the show, just getting there and making sure we get the right spot and what time we should get to the venue at and all this kind of stuff, because you don't want to be
The logistics.
Yeah, the
Of course.
logistics of it. Yeah, you don't want to be
Which
arsing
of
around
course
either.
is 4 hours beforehand, Adam, isn't it? Always be somewhere 4 hours before it starts.
Sure, whatever. If you want. So only that side of it, I was a bit nervous. But the excitement then built up once you're in that queue and you're with everyone and everyone around you is talking about it. And
Yeah,
there's like
I-
certain people will be asking,
Yeah.
"Oh, have you seen them before?" and all this kind of stuff. And
Yeah.
even after the concert, I don't know if any of you actually bumped into anyone, but we were chatting away to people on the train
Oh, nice.
and at the airport actually.
And what were people's like reactions and things?
Well, so the people that I spoke to have never seen them before. This was their first experience.
See, this is wild as well. And
Yeah.
actually, like they asked out of the audience, didn't they? Like
Mhm.
for the last song, Mike Shinoda asked how many people in this like in the O2 have seen Linkin Park before, and certain amount
It looked
of
like
people made
everyone.
a lot of noise, right? And then he went, "How many people is this your first time seeing us?" I did like a fuckload of people threw up
Yeah.
hands and made noise, and even he went, "That's fucking insane!" Like he was like blown away by that. I think it kind of that's more of like I'm sure he's asking that at every show they're going to. I think it's like
Yeah.
solidifying why they're doing this in a way. It's like
Yeah.
we could take it for granted that, oh sure, everyone's seen Linkin Park. It's like, no, they didn't actually. Not everyone saw Linkin Park, and Linkin Park's fan base is still huge and still grows even past the loss of Chester and stuff. Like people are still discovering Linkin Park on Spotify and on Apple Music and all in the years gone since, and never got a chance to see them. So
Yeah, I think the release of Lost, I think, has probably helped. A
man,
ton.
that song has done a lot.
Yeah, I think so.
Mm.
I think that song did a lot.
It is a great song, but it was so nice to hear Chester's voice again.
Yeah.
And
But
I think,
that-
just
yeah.
kind of brought the old fans back to go, Linkin Park. Oh, remembered them. And then brought the new people to be like, wow, that song is awesome.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah,
what was
check out more.
surprising about the song is that like they were saying that's I assumed they touched it up, but supposedly that's not touched up at all. That's as is, right?
Yeah.
And how modern it sounds. Like it doesn't sound like old,
Mm.
even though it obviously does. But it
Yeah.
sounds as new as the new stuff. Like it sounds very relevant.
Yes.
So yeah, I think that did a lot to kind of put them back on the map again, but also as well as the kind of what Mike was doing on Twitch and going to events like I think it was for Arcane, wasn't it? the one
That's
where
right.
the lady doesn't know who he is.
Yeah. That's right.
Going to events like that and being on YouTube, the teens react to Linkin Park and stuff like that. Like all that stuff really helps keeps them relevant again.
Yeah. I had nothing but excitement in the lead up to the show. And I suppose it kind of stems from like when I went to see like Mike Shinoda's solo shows, which were very especially at that time, like it was very not long after, right? So it was pretty raw and very, very cathartic and emotional. But I was like, I'm kind of accepting the possibility that I will probably never see Linkin Park together ever again, like as a band. That's probably never ever gonna happen. Like that was a possibility in my head. It's like I'd love them to find a way, but it's very possible that this is sort of a goodbye in a way.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course Mike was working on other stuff, and it seemed like there was a very natural progression for him in terms of what he can do musically as a music producer for other people. I was like, I could see that being his path. Maybe Johan will come out in the future and start making music videos for people. I don't know what the others are going to do, but I can kind of see them all finding their own lanes and stuff. So just to have a show at all, I was just thrilled. Like I was just so excited, and excited that we got the tickets, that we were going to be there for like the beginning of this new era, the Linkin Park 2.0, as people like to call it, this new lineup. And then yeah, once you're with all the people, you're like, oh, I'm with my fam, these are my people, It's like I feel good here. And then the show itself, was fucking incredible. Absolutely incredible. And I think if anyone out there is a Linkin Park fan, but is really like doubtful of the new era, um, whatever, like, okay, if you're not with it at all, fair enough, you're not with it at all. But if you're kind of on the fence about it, you're like, I'm not sure, I'd say dive in and get a ticket if you
Somehow.
can. If you can. They're not easy to get, but if you can, because I think you will have an absolute blast. The show was insane.
Yeah,
Two
I was
hours
actually,
of Linkin
yeah,
Park music.
2 hours, barely any breaks, really.
No.
Like there was no chance like, okay, we're gonna take 15-minute break now, go toilet, whatever. There was none of that. There's 2 hours, them going banger after banger to the point where I was like, fucking calm down, give us a slow song.
Yeah,
Just
I was very, at the very end when to do their final one, the encore.
yeah.
Um, and they're like, "Do you have any more energy left in you?" And I'm just like, "No, I was broken by the end." And it's not like, I mean, they did have a couple of slower songs in there, like, but that was like
Upset.
at the halfway point, let's say. It was very front loaded, heavy, and it was just a party at the beginning, and I was bollocks.
Yeah, it was like and it was hit after hit nearly, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
it was
yeah,
like
it was very, very good songs.
massive
played.
songs, and a couple of surprises, right?
Oh yeah,
Like a couple of surprises in there. Like I
couple
would
of
say,
couple of deep cuts, as you might say, Chris.
as I might say, deep cuts.
Yeah,
I think had it not been shared on Instagram beforehand, right? My December would have been the biggest surprise. Because never in a million years would I have expected them to add that to the set list at all. And it sounded
that sounded amazing.
fucking amazing.
Yeah,
And it's not even one that every Linkin Park fan probably knows, to be honest.
it's on Paper Cuts, though, isn't it?
No.
It's not.
No, it's a bonus track on Hybrid Theory.
Oh, okay. On the 20th anniversary,
Yeah.
did it come there? Okay.
Wow.
Or you can hear a remix of it on Reanimation.
Yeah.
And that's where My December exists. Like and they did an incredible version of it. But because we kind of knew about it because we saw the Instagram story,
I didn't.
I think the biggest surprise was Keys to the Kingdom from the Hunting Party.
You fucking lost on that.
I
don't know if I
couldn't
could hear the song actually.
I I couldn't fucking believe it because I was like, one, like I really wanted a Hunting Party song,
Yeah.
and I thought the chances, right, if we get one, because like Hunting Party got neglected on that Paper Cuts Greatest Hits album, so I was like, so it's
Yeah.
possible that they won't do it, but I think she'd sound great on one. If they do one, it's probably Guilty All the Same. Because that's like the big song from it, which would have been sick as well. Or Wastelands, which was another like popular one from that album, right?
Okay.
I never in a million years would have thought that they would have done Keys to the Kingdom. They never played that with Chester.
Wow.
Like, I couldn't fucking believe it. They killed it. It sounded fucking
It
amazing.
sounded really good, and it really fits with the current era and energy as well.
Yeah. What did you guys think of Emily live? Because ultimately, the online conversation, most of it has been about her, right?
Yeah.
Like, and some people feeling like, oh, maybe she wasn't the right vocalist, or maybe she's not a good fit, or like even in the live stream, there was moments where, and I think now we could put it down to nervousness and stuff, but
Yeah.
a lot of people weren't totally sold on her because there was moments where maybe her voice would have cracked, or there was moments where she stopped singing and stuff like that,
Yeah.
right? How do we feel about her after seeing her live ourselves?
Well, I still haven't seen that show, the very first show that they ever released,
Yeah.
where they're kind of going, we're coming back, this is our new singer and everything. I never saw that. So I suppose for me, first time I'm hearing her singing, Emptiness Machine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which I thought should sound great. And now I see this yoke. and I thought she fucking crushed it. She was awesome. She was so good. Holding like some of those scream notes that she was holding, which I mean, holding any note lyrically is fucking difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And then to hold a scream note for that long is it's probably slightly more difficult. Which just
No,
was,
it is.
Yeah, it is.
it's just
It is definitely more difficult. Yeah.
yeah. So like she's talented as fuck, and I think she absolutely crushed those songs.
Mm.
But with the screaming and then and then singing to show the range that she definitely has as well as a vocalist.
Oh yeah, her cleans are fucking awesome.
Mm.
Yeah,
I
that My
think- I
December
think
was just unbelievable.
Yeah, and waiting for the end.
She did. I think she cried during that.
Yeah,
I think she's going.
I was looking up at the screen, and it those look like tears running down her face. So that's a song that seems to break her every time.
Seems to get her right, and I think that song is going to get her every time. And I remember me and you were talking about Adam. Like I was like, I think that song is going to be an anthem of the new era. Like, I think waiting for the end, even though it wasn't originally her song, but whatever way she has connected with it, I think is going to be her breaking the habit.
Okay.
Like whenever Chester sang "Breaking the Habit" live,
Yeah.
it was very like, even though Mike largely wrote that song, it was very like, this is Chester's song. The lyrics, the emotion behind it. And he'd always do this like finish where like all the instruments would stop and it'd be just him singing.
Mm-hmm.
And it usually got the big mad applause and the Chester woo and all that stuff, right? And I just think waiting for the end is until we hear more of the new stuff, obviously. Like I'm sure there's going to be new stuff down the line, but I think waiting for the end is just going to be like,
I'd imagine,
song.
like, I mean, it's always hard to know what's going through someone's head when they're singing this stuff, but I think she's probably thinking about where Chester was at when they were writing it,
possibly.
you know, and just those lyrics just cut deep, you know. But that was, I think, it was after that performance, wasn't it? That the whole
crowd
was cheering.
which was lovely because it was a really like the room basically, which I say room, fucking massive arena
Stadium.
but it was a we all accept you.
Yeah. I really loved.
I thought it was nice.
Yeah, I loved when everyone started chanting.
Yeah.
Mm.
It's good.
That's like that's great because I think the first time she was announced, first time she was singing, there was all that kind of
Well, it's
or
still
even
going.
discussions of that. Yeah, it probably is still going, but
It's
like
still going.
that thing of like, oh no, Linkin Park's dead. They have a female singer and blah blah blah. It's just like, right.
Yeah, and I think like partially that's just comes with the acceptance and grief. I mean, there's going to be people out there that I think have always hated Linkin Park, and this is just a very convenient kind of excuse. Like they could never quantify why they disliked Linkin Park, but now they're like, all right, okay, now I have something I can latch onto as a this is why, right?
Yeah.
So there's always those people. So you guys just dismiss them, so that doesn't really matter. I think just going to be people out there though that are still like, it just kind of shows how huge Chester was in so many people's lives that literally anything is just not going to satisfy. I've heard people say that they would prefer if they changed the name and move forward with something else. And I mean, I think that's a ridiculous idea. We don't expect that of literally any other band, but that just goes to show how huge of a figure he was to those people that they can't accept someone else. So I feel sorry for those people, even if they do go online and they start bashing. It seems to be their only way of coping, but it will die down. You know.
But I just mean it's nice because for celebrities in the limelight who get that sort of attention and those remarks and everything like that, I think it's nice for them to be on stage and hear thousands of people say, "Yeah, no, we like you. Stay."
I think the numbers in each stadium is gonna speaks more volumes than, I mean, even if you just look at some of the clips, that's shared across, doesn't matter what platform they're on, the ratio of likes to comments is like you could have thousands and like hundreds of thousands of or likes, but only maybe like a couple of hundred comments, and you go through those comments and like it'd be a mix of positive and negative. So that just goes to show you that, I mean, the negatives aren't even that high.
No, I know, and sometimes it is like one negative can stick with someone, but it is important then.
But it wouldn't be
to
Linkin
get that
Park is
moment
back
of-
though, unless
no,
there
of
was
course.
negativity.
Yeah, of course.
Like
yeah,
that's how you
they've
know
always-
you're back.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It has to be controversy. If there's
Yeah.
no controversy,
Which I think
something's
then
not right. You know.
fits in with the song that they released the day we were seeing them.
Right. The new song, "Heavy as the Crown."
Yeah, which fits in with them.
We heard it live first.
Yeah.
And so in that regard, it's not a song that we knew, obviously, when we heard it. But not only did it fit right in with the set, like energy wise and tone wise, it fits right in with the discography. I think this one, more than the Emptiness Machine, speaks to what Mike Shinoda was talking about in all the interviews, where he said, look at, we also considered changing the band name. Like, we had those questions too. We thought about that too. Then we looked at the music we were making and went, it's fucking Linkin Park music. Like, we can't call it something else. Because it'd just be like, why did it be basically like, call yourself something else, and everyone then going, oh my god, but you just sound just like Linkin Park. That would then be the comments.
Yeah.
Like, it's as Linkin Park a song as you could get, like,
Very much so.
in every way, pretty much.
Yeah.
And it sounded sick live too.
That's very cool. I like the little comment where Mike was saying, "Oh yeah, we released a new song. How how long did we give you to learn it or something like that?"
It's like 3
Yes,
hours or
yeah.
something, isn't it?
And
Yeah,
did
something like that.
you just learn it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There were a couple of people screaming it though, singing it.
Yeah.
so-
Wait, I'd say people have been learning it since, because they actually debuted it in Hamburg 2 days before that.
Oh,
All right.
okay.
I'd say people watched the live video over and over again, and just as much as they could probably learn the chorus.
I'd
it
say
was
they were
harder
listening
try
to
pick
it
up the
in
rap,
the queue.
right?
Probably that too.
As well,
once it
yeah,
launched.
definitely. I wanted to say as well on Emily, not just her singing abilities. I thought the chemistry on stage was really strong. Like, I actually thought there was really good energy with the band. It really felt like a band rather than, because I know at the live stream it felt a little bit, especially the way it was filmed, and the shock of just like the whoa, who's who and what's what, and
Yeah.
like it felt disjointed. Whereas when we were there this time around in the crowd, I thought it felt very much like a band, very tight knit. No one was stealing like the limelight. It wasn't the Mike Shinoda show,
No,
for
yeah,
example.
Yeah.
Like, it actually wasn't, and it also wasn't the Emily Armstrong show. It was like Colin,
Yeah,
the
I
drummer,
like. So Colin is like,
right?
yeah. When I saw the live stream, I mean, that was one of the things I commented on, that it just didn't seem right, like the stage setup and all. It just turns out that for a live stream, it just doesn't really work that well, because you can't keep your eye on everything.
Yes.
And I wasn't so sure about Colin, and there was no talk about him whatsoever. But yeah, I'm sold after seeing them live. We have a second Micah Shinoda in the band. Like,
Yeah.
another multi-instrumentalist. Like, I know the rest of them can play a lot of different instruments, but he's so clearly talented across multiple instruments, as well as, like, there's mention of him being a producer as well. That's just going to be mental to see what they actually bring to the table. But the little kind of, I wouldn't say it's kind of a break, I think, isn't it? When it was just him and Mike on stage.
Yeah,
That was
Yeah.
brilliant. I love that.
Yeah. So Colin, for people who don't know, like he played drums for most of the show, like filling in that drum role, but he also played guitar on a couple of songs. He was his energy was sick as well. Like, and it's not to say, because we did comment before, I would still say I do miss Rob Borden.
Yeah.
And in Dreamland, for some reason, Rob Borden decides to come back, and him and Colin are in the band. You know what I mean? Like, in Dreamworld, this is to say that I wouldn't want Colin now. I'd like to keep Colin around. I actually think he fits in Linkin Park very well.
Yeah,
Is what I'm saying.
I would say
I think
so
he
too. Yeah, because
fits in very
his backing vocals and everything were really, like, him with
Yeah.
My December was just it was class.
Yeah, I reckon as well. Some of the new arrangements, I'd say he had a big part in, like,
Yeah.
and basically what you have now is, and I don't know what Emily's abilities are in this regard beyond like being just a fucking awesome vocalist. But Linkin Park is a band of producers. Like all of the rest of them are basically music producers.
She's a guitarist.
Like, is she as well?
That's where she started off. She was a guitarist.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hence their like rock energy that's got clearly coming into this new album probably.
Yeah.
Like everyone's leaning that way maybe. But yeah, I'm gonna very briefly call out the set list, right? I want people to know how fucking insane it was. And that it was very much a like it wasn't geared at one era of Linkin Park. I think they pretty much covered all the eras, if even only for one song, right? Obviously there's lots of like lighting stuff and breaks and things like that in between, so outside of that stuff, the cool production shit, which made it a fucking awesome show, like the songs they played were Somewhere I Belong, Crawling, Lying From You, Points of Authority, New Divide, The Emptiness Machine, The Catalyst, Burn It Down, Waiting for the End, Castle of Glass, When They Come For Me mashed up with Remember the Name, and actually before that there was basically a Cure for the Itch remake, Keys to the Kingdom, Given Up, One Step Closer, Lost, Breaking the Habit, What I've Done, Leave Out All the Rest, My December, Friendly Fire, Numb Encore, In the End, Faint, Paper Cut, Heavy as the Crown, and Bleed It Out. Like, holy shit! Like,
As I said, there was no break. Like, my feet were killing me. I was thinking to myself, my voice is gone. Like from start to finish, I think everyone was just singing along with every song. Like, you know what I mean? It was just, wow, what a fucking Jesus. Need a week's rest after it.
I was like, I want to go again. Let's do it again. Let's go.
I just hope that they record one of them. I want to see like I was so I watched live in Madrid again there only yesterday.
Yeah.
And like
it's a good show.
Yeah, and I only have up as far as there. They didn't really do any like live recordings. I know they did Birmingham.
No, there's a few on YouTube you can look up, but there's not like they didn't release DVDs of it. Like,
yeah, and I just hope that we get one because I always love watching them.
My theory that
Alive in Texas 2.0, please.
Yeah, my theory is that, and maybe it's not going to happen, but
No.
I feel like when you're putting that many, they're putting more supports on that lineup than any other. And
yeah, when you have Bad Omens with you, I mean, come on, like let's fucking go.
Like, and they've Helmet supporting them, which makes me think they're going to play All for Nothing for the first time ever.
Oh yeah,
right?
Yeah. No, they definitely will. Yeah, they definitely will.
Yeah, fucking 100% will.
If they were to, so this
please,
is a question I came across. So when we were queuing up, we saw that there was new dates announced and a whole lot of like screaming and roaring. So they're playing like Sleep Token are open for them in Paris, and Bad Omens are open for them in Texas. Now I came across on the Sleep Token subreddit was, if they were to bring the singer out to do a song with them, what would you choose?
Which singer? Which singer?
So if you brought Vessel, if you brought Vessel out on
Vessel?
At the Bad Omens show, if you brought him out.
Oh, Noah, you'd have to bring him out for his screaming abilities, I think.
Right. So what would you choose?
I think for Noah, I'd want to hear him do A Place for My Head.
Okay.
I just think the bridge on A Place for My Head. I think he'd fucking kill it.
Not
but there's
Blackout.
There's a number of songs. Oh, Blackout would be sick as well. Yeah, that'd be great.
Could you do like a Blackout mixed with Victimized? Could that work? Like
that would be pretty sick too. Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, there's a lot he could do. He's a great vocalist.
Yeah.
Vessel. What would I want to hear Vessel do? Because his voice is a little bit more soulful. And I don't think I'd bring him out for his screaming ability. I think
God,
I'd
no.
bring him out for his So, would it be weird to do a new take on Hands Held High with him? You know what I mean? Him and Mike doing that. Would that be a waste?
That would
I
be
don't
a
know.
waste, actually. Yeah, yeah. I think so. Yeah.
What do you think?
I think one more
Come
like
to mind. Oh, what are you trying to do? Make everyone cry? What do you want? Like,
I think yeah, I think he could bring a lot of soul to that.
yeah, of course, yeah, 100%. Man, can't believe they actually did a show together. It's
Yeah,
wild.
I'm hoping that this will equal like when they do the proper tour, right? After I know
Yeah.
they're calling this one the From Zero. I think there's going to be a proper From Zero tour where they can play the album.
Yes.
I
Next
so
year.
hope
Next year, I think.
those two just take them on the road with you everywhere you go, right? Bad Omens, Sleep Token. That let that be your
Oh, if you could bring
lineup.
the two of them,
Yeah, that how fucking insane would that be? Like that would just
They-
be
honestly, they would probably, especially in their scene, they would sell out everywhere to go.
everywhere, and you could play everywhere.
Everywhere.
There's-
Everywhere.
I don't think there's anywhere that you wouldn't fill.
That'd be fucking
No.
insane. Okay. Any other thoughts on Linkin Park's show that we went to before we wrap up this bonus segment?
Yeah, I remember when we were like we were waiting for him. So I think the opening act, he was done, he was gone. And we were standing there, we were waiting, and you two were saying, "Oh, I wonder if they have the laser.
Yeah.
I wonder if that's the laser." And I was like, "What laser?" It's like, "Oh man, just you wait, just you wait. That they'll
Yeah.
hopefully they have the laser." And then the music started, and this fucking laser shoots up, and I'm like, "Oh, the laser, right?" And it was such a fucking cool effect, and even that effect of the lights and lasers onto the screen causing this cool effect with this music over it. Again, just like there when that was happening, it still wasn't a break. Even
Right.
if the
There's
cast
always
members,
something happening. Yeah.
yeah. So even if the cast members went down, it's like, right, we're not needed for this. I might go get
What's
a
that, a
drink.
cast members?
The
They're only,
cast.
they're only
just-
playing the role of Linkin Park.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
some
playing,
of
they're
them,
only
I
playing the role. So when you had the band members, band
Brad
members
Delson's
going,
stunt double was on stage.
were going down, and they were like, I don't know, taking off their jacket because they're getting too warm, or they're taking a drink or something. But you still had this visual spectacle happening,
Yeah.
and even the what they were doing with the camera work, the camera editing, as well. That they had,
Oh,
like,
yeah,
these
yeah, up on the
effect-
screen.
yeah, having these effects up. So I would love to see a DVD of the whole thing, just to kind of.
Yeah, I mean there was
Yeah.
a ton of, I suppose those big cameras that were going around filming. Like I wonder, are they going to do like a big greatest hits of the tour? You know, like they might take like for one song might be from that venue because there was a better
Right.
performance there, and you know whatever, and release it up on YouTube once they're finished. I wonder if they're going to do something like that. But I also wonder why the hell they announced new dates mid-tour. Like, I've never heard that happen before. Well, I'm not going to say I've never heard it happen before, but I've never seen it with, like, just a huge fucking act in front of you.
Yeah.
Like, I've never seen that before.
It's pretty wild how it does, even though everything seems so planned, it also does seem a little bit like, we'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
No, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
Maybe people will like it. Sure, okay, throw another show in there. They seem to like it. It kind of seems like that. It's like, well, of course, people some people have been dying for this, you know. But yeah, I think as well. I did want to comment on the stage, like being in the round, because I know in the lead up to it, I was a bit. That's the one thing I was nervous about. Actually, I wasn't nervous about the like abilities of the new band members or anything like that, because I felt that we had seen a glimpse of their talent already, and that they were only going to get more and more comfortable in their roles the more they toured and more shows they played. But I was a bit nervous about the stage because I was like, they've never really done that before, and will you be constantly looking around all the time? I actually thought it worked really well. I thought it made them move around a lot. it made a lot more people feel closer to the stage rather than feel like you're a dot very far away. Because I remember like the last time me and Eric saw Linkin Park,
They
like
were a dot.
we couldn't see them at all. We only watched the show through the screens.
Right.
And yeah, it was also just interesting. It was kind of it was a really like it was a energetic rock show, but with a hip hop production. I thought. Like the round stage thing felt very much like almost something Jay-Z or Kanye West would do, with all these crazy lights coming down, and they're going to play to everyone around them. You know what I mean?
But don't Metallica do that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, I'm not saying other bands haven't done it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But even just like the way the screens and stuff like that, it felt very much like hip hop production, but it was like a rock show, which again was like that is like a park, like fusing those kind of different elements together and stuff. I thought it worked really well. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, no, it did work. I would have liked to have seen more of it. So I think if you are going to go to a show and you can only get a seat, I'd say
don't let it put you off.
Definitely don't put it off. I think you'll get to witness the whole thing. Might be a bit annoying if you're right at the back, but being down on the floor, there were certainly things you're going to be missing. You won't be able to see the other side of the stage. And they do rotate, but I would say we got the better half of the My December performance.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
because anyone who was on the other side didn't see shit.
Yeah, it just depended with certain songs whether you looked out or not in terms of what you wanted to see.
Yeah.
Like we had Emily a lot on our side, coming up to a corner very close to us, so we got to see Emily a lot, and she even got to interact with people and stuff, which I thought was very cool. It does show sign of confidence as well in her.
Oh yeah.
She was right at the barrier holding her hands. It's like, fair play there, woman.
I think everyone fit into the role very comfortably. Even the guitarist who's filling in for Brad, I actually kind of feel a bit sad for him, actually, a little bit, because it's like he like the solo for Keys to the Kingdom, like he's fucking brilliant. Like he just killed it.
Yeah.
He's a very good guitarist, and it wasn't just flattery talk in Brad's post when he said, I like he's a very talented musician, and I picked him for a good reason. Like
no, he's very good. I can only imagine what it's like being backstage and being and you're not even in interviews or whatever. You're just kind of like to tag along.
You learn all this stuff, and then you're like, hold on a second. How come he's in all the posters and all the music videos? And
I'm out here doing all the heavy lifting here.
But obviously, but he's obviously just fucking pumped to be there though as well. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
It's still the chance of a lifetime to be touring with Linkin Park and But I know what you mean. It is,
but it does raise an interesting like. I was just thinking about it, like to what extent then is he not a member then? You know, because it's like. If Brad is the writer of songs, and you have someone else out there performing the songs, and we were now to, let's say we were to lift that and apply it to the pop world.
Oh yeah. I know what you mean.
Then, which one of them is the actual artist?
Yeah. Well, I think they're both
entering the dangerous territory there, Adam.
I think they're both artists in their own right. And maybe there'll be something to be said for down the line if they feel like they don't have to keep it as just 6 guys in the band, you know?
Yeah, maybe, I mean, Slipknot had 9. Come on, let's stretch it out.
They could get to where you go, do you know what? Let's let Alex in. Let's let him like be an actual member of the band. But I've also seen lots of other bands do this. Bring Me the Horizon, for example, have a guitarist that tours with them in all their shows, plays all their shows, sings with them on stage, and is not in the lineup of the band, not in any of the posters or any of the. So I don't like. Does a band stop when the recording stops? You know, and then it doesn't matter who tours. But yeah, it's an interesting one. But he did a very good job, I thought.
Yeah, I just seen a couple of behind the scenes after the show. Like Emily comes out, goes to backstage, and they're all like high fiving each other. You're doing brilliant, and it's just him going, yeah. He's really good, you know. It's just like I feel so sad for him. Like he was really excellent, the guitarist.
Yeah, and actually the tones of the guitars and everything were fucking great.
Hot.
Yeah.
Hot.
Sounded
Loved
sick.
It. Yeah, I think they sound minus one song. They sound heavier than they've ever done, I think. Not in terms of like
in a long time.
not like and I don't mean in terms of the tuning or anything like that. It's
No.
just whatever. It's more. I would say during the Thousand Suns era onwards, the guitars were taking a bit of a backseat. They were there, but they weren't as prominent as like the bass and the electronica. Here, they're like, all right, let's turn it up to 11. Let's go.
Yeah. We obviously were there with Pagan as well, and Ash. Did Pagan enjoy the show?
Loved it.
Loved it.
Yeah.
There you go, guys.
Loved it.
That's all you need to know.
Wasn't I think the same as myself. I actually thought I was going to get a bit of mosh being there, right? Because
So did I.
last time, Jesus, how long ago was that? It's 2008 when I saw them last.
You
So
don't want to know
time?
how long that is.
That is a long time.
Long time.
So I thought it was going to be like, being back again and all this kind of stuff. Because you kind of think, oh, I'm never going to have this opportunity ever again. And then you're amongst fans, not Queens of the Stone Age people. It was, I thought it was going to be like really hard hitting, but not really. I didn't at all. Actually, didn't hit me at all. I didn't hit either.
I thought it was going to be emotional as well, and then I think it's just that.
I don't think you had time for emotions when you were fucking.
It was emotional, but not in that way. Not in like a bittersweet or sad kind of way. It was because you're feeding off the energy they're giving you, right? And the show was not a sad, contemplative show. It was a let's fucking celebrate, we're back show.
Yeah.
And they just kicked everyone's ass, really.
Yeah.
And there was mosh pits, and it was great. It's fucking great.
I did see. I don't know where it is, but there's a clip of it. And I think it is at the O2, but I don't know what side of the arena it was on. But there was like a circle pit that opened up, and in the middle of it, everyone just got down and started doing like a group rowing action.
Nice.
There's just this massive, I don't know what the fuck was going on there, but
But
I just love that the circle opened up, and just a bunch of people just got down and just simultaneously started doing this like rowing boat action. And,
right, like who the fuck decided that?
And they just all did it. Yeah.
Amazing.
That reminds me of it's not Linkin Park thing, but that thing where it's like it was a clip on YouTube or something. I think it was like a short or something like that, where it's like how to help someone do squats in the gym. So the guy is doing his squats and then he's kind of struggling. So someone comes up to help him. So he has his hands by his arms to help him up. And then someone else in the gym sees that, so he gets up behind the other guy. And then there's another guy, and there's about 8 guys all just standing in a row, just helping the other guy. So that idea of them all getting into that fake boat at the O2 kind of reminds me of that.
That's the spirit of a mosh pit, really.
Yeah.
Helping each other out. But I think in conclusion, the Linkin Park show was fucking amazing, and I think we would all recommend Linkin Park fans to go see them live if you can. If you could try and see them live, it was 100% worth it. And if they're touring again next year, I will be going again.
Oh yeah, I would too.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like well, I suppose people are gonna have different takes, I guess, when they hear it, but it didn't feel like there's no between Emily and Chester is like there's obviously no competition, and it didn't feel like there was one, and it didn't feel like she's in here trying to steal that spot or anything like that. And it felt like someone honoring the songs. This is 100% what it felt like in the moment. Is that someone, because there's even moments where they would pass it over to the crowd, and it's like, we're doing this together as opposed to I'm taking the spotlight here. Like there just wasn't all attention's on me right now.
Yeah.
No,
the only time in the whole show where I felt all the attention was on her, right? And rightfully so in this case. She was able to kind of go, this is my fucking song. was the new song.
The new song.
When she did the scream.
Yeah.
And she basically went, I'm going to show you what I can do. Because there's been a lot of doubt about me. And I'm going to fucking show you what we've been kind of holding back so far. And that there's possibly a lot more to come, you know? I thought that was the only moment where I felt like it was very much this is my fucking song. And I was like, fuck, wow. Blew me away.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that and when there was just Matt and the drummer. Like, you had the attention just on those two. But I thought that was...
Mike.
What's wrong with me? I'm going to stop talking. Cast members and Matt and...
And the flibbity flabby.
Skippity dap dap.
But anyway, I think we better wrap it up there. We will be talking more Linkin Park in the future because there is a new album on the way, and I think not only will we review that when it comes out, I think also maybe we'll look at doing after that's come out and we've kind of had a bit of time to sit with it, like a ranking the albums episode sometime. I think that could be really fun.
I already have a negative about the new album. It's not even out yet.
Really?
Yeah.
Already?
Yeah.
Is it that they keep releasing new versions?
No, it's too short.
Oh, okay, yeah.
I already know it's too short.
Yeah, it is too short. I want that
And
shit.
based on these two songs, which I can't. There's only so much I can really stretch them mileage wise. I mean, that new one is on fucking repeat for me now, and it's just like, god damn it, why aren't you like a minute longer?
I take their masters at that though.
They
The
fucking
masters at going, I'm gonna give you a really cool moment, and I'm not gonna let it like stick around long enough so that you're like, oh, I want to hear that bit again.
Yeah, it's like the
You just
opposite
end
of Hunting Party.
Yeah, in a way, yeah.
I don't mean that as a negative way. I just think that like
No,
partially that was maybe because I think that was their worst received album actually.
That's shocking.
Not from a critic. Well, yeah, it would be from a critic standpoint, but just in terms of actual performance and sales and stuff, it did perform the worst. Partially is it probably stepped out of the realm of those like short, sweet, to the point songs that
Radio songs.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I'm trying to say is there's more Linkin Park content to come from us, super Linkin Park fans. And if you want to hear more Linkin Park stuff, then we would recommend you subscribe to our YouTube channel or follow our podcast for future content. And of course, we want to hear from you guys too. Whether you're Linkin Park fans or not, maybe you're just interested in music and you're just curious about this new era, or you're kind of like, oh, I kind of want to hear what people who went to the show, what did they think, what did they think about it, that kind of stuff. We do want to hear your thoughts. If you're watching YouTube, jump down in the comments, share your thoughts on the new Linkin Park era. And if you went to the shows, any of the shows, let us know what you thought of them. Or if you've seen any of them live online and you're like, oh, fuck, I kind of wish I went. Or if you have any thoughts on any of the live stuff so far, do let us know. So if you're watching YouTube, jump down in the comments, share your thoughts. If you enjoyed this, please give us a thumbs up, hit subscribe, ring the notification bell for, again, all the future discussions that are to come. And if you listen to us on audio platforms, you can touch base on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X at The Brothers Take, again, to give your take on Linkin Park. It feels so good to say they're back. But we'll be back to talk to you guys next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.